Earth's massive space station orbited silently above the blue planet. Inside, NASA astronaut John Collins floated through the laboratory module, checking equipment readings. It was his third month aboard the station, and everything had settled into a comfortable routine. "John, we're picking up something weird," said Mission Control through his earpiece. "Define weird," John replied, pushing himself toward the observation window. "Unknown signals. Nothing matching our satellites or known space debris." John looked out at the stars. At first, he saw nothing unusual. Then, a flicker of light caught his attention. It was moving unnaturally, changing direction without slowing. "I see something," he said, reaching for the station's high-powered camera. "Definitely not one of ours." The strange lights multiplied. Within minutes, dozens appeared, then hundreds. They weren't meteors or satellites. They moved with purpose. "Mission Control, are you seeing this?" "Affirmative. Stand by for instructions." Suddenly, the objects accelerated. John watched in awe as they grew larger, revealing massive ships unlike anything humans had built. The lead vessel was enormous, easily the size of Manhattan. All across Earth, similar sightings caused panic. Television broadcasts interrupted regular programming. Social media exploded with videos of the ships now visible in daylight skies worldwide. In Washington, D.C., emergency meetings convened as military forces worldwide went on high alert. President Susan Martinez addressed the nation with what little information they had. "We are attempting to establish communication with the visitors. All citizens should remain calm." The aliens made contact first. Every electronic device on Earth simultaneously received the same message. "Attention humans. We are representatives of the Zadian Empire and the Galactic Council. Your planet is now under our jurisdiction. Resistance is futile." The message came from High Commander Xelfor, who appeared humanoid, but with gray-blue skin and eyes that gleamed like polished metal. His message continued. "Your primitive species will benefit from our advanced civilization. Submit to screening and classification for appropriate labor assignments." World leaders hastily formed the Unified Earth Defense Coalition. In an emergency meeting, coalition leaders Karen Martinez and William Foster drafted humanity's response. Earth welcomes peaceful contact with other civilizations, but rejects any claim of authority over our planet. We request peaceful dialogue as equals. Xelfor's response came swiftly. Equality is earned through advancement. Your species has not yet proven its worth. You have 24 Earth hours to begin submission procedures. Despite frantic diplomatic efforts, the deadline approached without resolution. Military forces worldwide aimed their weapons skyward, though scientists warned they would likely be ineffective against such advanced technology. With 1 hour remaining, William Foster broadcast humanity's final answer. Earth remains free. We will not submit to enslavement. The Zadian response came without warning. Beams of intense light stabbed downward from the alien ships. Beijing disappeared first, vaporized in seconds. Then Moscow, London, Los Angeles. The coalition bunker shook as nearby cities were destroyed. Screens showed devastating footage from around the world, as millions died in what the Zadians called a minimal warning demonstration. "My God," whispered Karen, watching the destruction. "What have we done?" "What we had to," William answered grimly. "Freedom isn't negotiable." Within hours, Earth's military launched everything they had against the alien ships. Missiles exploded harmlessly against invisible shields. Fighter jets were swatted from the sky like insects. By nightfall, major governments had collapsed or gone into hiding. Zadian dropships began landing, deploying troops to establish control zones in surviving cities. In the coalition's underground command center, surviving leaders gathered around a static-filled transmission from the space station. John Collins' voice came through weakly. "They've boarded the station. I don't have much time. Their technology is incredible, but I've observed weaknesses. Their ships emit specific radiation signatures before weapons fire. And their ground troops, They're struggling with our atmosphere. They're not invincible. We can fight back. We have tow. The transmission cut off abruptly. Karen looked at the grim faces around her. Then we fight. Not openly, not yet, but we will fight. The Zadian occupation of Earth had begun, but so had Earth's resistance. 3 months after the initial attack, Earth appeared defeated. Smoke still rose from ruined cities as massive Zadian structures towered over the landscape. Alien patrols moved through streets once filled with human traffic. Their sleek armored forms made them look more machine than living being. Dr. Olivia Grant worked by candlelight in her underground laboratory. Once a respected physicist at MIT, she now led a secret research team operating from an abandoned subway tunnel. Around her, salvaged alien technology covered makeshift tables. "I think I found something," she whispered to her assistant, Frank Miller. She pointed to a pattern in the alien metal. "Their shield technology has a resonance frequency. Hit it just right, and it could fail completely." Frank leaned closer. "Can we replicate that?" "With the right equipment, but we'd need more samples." 20 miles away, former Marine Alan Peterson crouched in the ruins of a suburban home. His resistance cell had grown to 30 members, most civilians who had lost everything in the initial attacks. They communicated using old ham radios and hand signals, staying off electronic channels the Zadians monitored. "Target approaching," whispered Diane Rivers, their lookout. "Scout ship, minimal crew." Alan checked his makeshift weapon, a hunting rifle modified with parts they'd scavenged from crashed alien tech. It wouldn't penetrate their shields, but it might distract them. "Remember the plan," he told his team. "We need one alive if possible." The scout ship hummed softly as it patrolled low over the abandoned neighborhood. Alan's team waited until it hovered directly overhead before triggering their trap. A power generator rigged to overload, creating an electromagnetic pulse. The ship sputtered and dropped, crashing into an empty lot. 2 Zadian soldiers stumbled out, their armor sparking from the pulse damage. Alan's team moved quickly, taking down one with concentrated rifle fire when its shield flickered. The second they managed to capture using a net woven with copper wire that seemed to interfere with their technology. "Package secured," Alan radioed to base. "Bringing it in." In the Coalition's hidden command center, Lisa Ramirez worked tirelessly monitoring alien communications. As a former intelligence analyst, she had learned their language patterns quickly. "They're arguing," she told Karen Martinez, showing her the translated intercepts. "The Zadian commander keeps referring to council protocols they violated. I think their attack wasn't authorized by this Galactic Council they mentioned." Karen's eyes widened. "So there are rules even they have to follow." "It seems so. And there's more. They keep mentioning something called the Andromeda. They sound worried about them finding out what happened here." Meanwhile, in Dr. Grant's lab, the captured Zadian was proving invaluable. Though they couldn't understand its language, its biological responses told them much. "Its respiratory system is failing in our atmosphere," Olivia noted. "They're using filters in their suits." More importantly, she observed how Earth bacteria affected the alien's tissue. "It's having an allergic reaction to common soil bacteria. Massive inflammation." Word spread through the resistance network. Small victories began as humans learned to exploit Zadian weaknesses. In Denver, rebels successfully attacked an outpost when they discovered the aliens couldn't see well in heavy snowfall. In Egypt, fighters used sand to clog alien machinery. Then came the breakthrough. A resistance cell in Brazil captured an intact communication device. When activated, it displayed a message not in Zadian script. "We are the Andromeda." The translation read, "We have noted the Zadian violation of Council non-interference statutes. If humans receive this message, know that not all Council species approved this invasion. We may offer limited assistance." The message included technical specifications that confirmed Dr. Grant's theories about shield resonance. That night, Alan Peterson's team tested the first prototype weapons based on Dr. Grant's research. When fired at a Zadian patrol, their shields flickered and failed. For the first time, the aliens retreated in confusion. "Send word to all cells," Alan ordered. "We've found their weakness. Operation Thunderstrike begins at dawn." The occupation forces had no idea that humanity was about to reveal its true strength. Dr. Olivia Grant carefully assembled the final component of her prototype weapon. The device hummed with energy, a combination of human and reverse-engineered alien technology. Her team watched nervously as she activated it. "If my calculations are correct, this pulse should disable Zadian shields within a 50-foot radius," she explained. The indicator light turned green. Success. Around her underground laboratory, scientists and engineers broke into quiet applause. "Make 20 more by tomorrow," she instructed her team. "The resistance needs them immediately." Across the country, Alan Peterson's resistance cell had grown from 30 to over 300 fighters. They operated from an abandoned mining complex in Colorado, expanding their operations daily. Alan studied a map where red pins marked confirmed Zadian outposts. "Their command center is heavily guarded," he told his lieutenants. "But our latest intelligence shows a weakness on the eastern perimeter." Lisa Ramirez entered the room, carrying printouts of decoded Zadian transmissions. Once a quiet analyst, she had become the Resistance's most valuable intelligence asset. "I've intercepted something important," she said, spreading the papers on the table. "The Zadians have been lying to their own command structure about the situation here. They reported Earth as pacified weeks ago." Alan studied the translations, "So their leadership doesn't know we're fighting back." "Exactly. And there's more. The Galactic Council has specific laws about first contact. The Zadians violated at least 7 major protocols by attacking us without proper evaluation." This news spread through the global resistance network, giving hope to fighters worldwide. Small victories accumulated as Dr. Grant's shield disruptors reached more cells. In Sydney, rebels successfully destroyed a Zadian patrol ship. In Cairo, fighters liberated a human labor camp. Each success boosted morale and brought more recruits. The Andromeda made contact again, this time through a more sophisticated channel. Their representative, a slender being named Claris, appeared as a hologram in the Resistance headquarters. "The Council remains divided on intervention," Claris explained. "But I can provide technical specifications that might help your efforts." The data they shared allowed Dr. Grant to improve her weapons dramatically. "Their shield technology relies on a specific energy matrix," she explained to Alan. "With these modifications, we can create a cascading failure in their entire defensive system." The first major counterattack took place in what remained of Colorado Springs. A Zadian outpost had been processing humans for labor assignments off-planet. Alan's team approached under cover of a thunderstorm, using the weather to mask their heat signatures. "Remember, disable their communications first," Alan instructed through his radio. "We can't let them call for reinforcements." Dr. Grant's weapons worked perfectly. The Zadian shields flickered and died when hit with the specially tuned pulses. For the first time, human weapons could harm the invaders directly. The resistance fighters moved efficiently, freeing hundreds of captive humans and capturing valuable alien technology. What they didn't expect was the reaction of ordinary Zadians when their shields failed. Many panicked, some even surrendering immediately. One officer, cornered by Alan's team, spoke in broken English. "Not all wanted this war," the alien said. "Many objected. High Commander acted without full council approval." This information confirmed what Lisa had discovered through her intercepts. The invasion wasn't a unified Galactic Council decision, but a rogue action by the Zadian Empire. News of the successful attack spread through human resistance networks worldwide. Similar operations began in other regions, coordinated through Lisa's communication system. Zadian forces, accustomed to easy victories, found themselves increasingly on the defensive. In his command ship orbiting Earth, High Commander Excel IV received the disturbing reports. His subordinates stood nervously as he reviewed the data. "Impossible," he hissed. "These primitives should have been broken by now." "Sir," a junior officer ventured, "the humans are adapting to our technology far faster than predicted, and we've received a formal inquiry from the Council about our methods here." Xelthor smashed his fist on the control panel. "Send for reinforcements from the homeworld. We will crush this resistance before the Council interferes." But humanity was no longer fighting just to survive. Operation Thunderstrike, the global counteroffensive, was ready to begin. The dawn broke red over what was once New York City. Zadian structures loomed like metallic mountains among ruined skyscrapers. 6 months had passed since the invasion, and today would mark humanity's largest counterattack yet. Alan Peterson lay flat on a rooftop, binoculars trained on the main Zadian command center. His combat vest bulged with Dr. Grant's latest shield-disrupting devices. "All teams report ready," whispered his communications officer. Alan nodded. "Begin Operation Thunderstrike." Across the globe, resistance cells moved simultaneously. In London, fighters attacked a Zadian processing center. In Tokyo, rebels targeted their communication arrays. In Sydney, Rio, and Cairo, human forces emerged from hiding to strike at alien weak points. Lisa Ramirez coordinated it all from a mobile command truck outside the New York operation. Her screen showed green dots representing human forces converging on red Zadian positions. "Main force is approaching the primary target," she reported. "Secondary teams are in position." The first phase began with precision strikes on Zadian sensor arrays. Teams equipped with Dr. Grant's technology moved silently, disabling the aliens' early warning systems one by one. "They're blind in sectors 2 through 5, Lisa confirmed. "Main assault team, you are clear to proceed." Alan led 50 fighters through the underground tunnel system. They emerged 3 blocks from the command center, moving quickly between destroyed buildings. When a Zadian patrol appeared, they used the new weapons with devastating effect. The alien shields failed instantly, and for the first time, human firearms proved lethal against the invaders. "They're calling for reinforcements," Lisa warned over the radio. "Jamming their frequencies now." Inside the command center, the Zadian commander received fragmented reports of attacks. Before he could organize a response, the building's power flickered and died. The result of Dr. Grant's electromagnetic pulse device planted days earlier by infiltrators. Alan's team breached the main entrance, throwing canisters of modified bacteria that specifically targeted Zadian respiratory systems. The aliens staggered, their breathing apparatus failing against this unexpected biological weapon. "Push forward," Alan ordered. "Secure the command level." On the other side of the planet, Dr. Grant monitored the operation from her laboratory. Her screen showed similar attacks succeeding worldwide. "Their shield technology is completely compromised," she told her team. "And the bacterial agent is working even better than expected." The most critical phase came when specialized teams began capturing intact Zadian ships. Using the technical data provided by the Andromeda, resistance engineers had learned how to bypass their security systems. In New York, Alan's team fought their way to the command center's top level. The Zadian senior officers, unused to direct combat, surrendered quickly when their personal shields failed. Human fighters secured computer terminals containing invaluable information. "We've got their command codes," Alan reported to Lisa. "Downloading now." Lisa relayed the codes to teams worldwide. Within hours, humans had taken control of 7 Zadian vessels, including a medium-sized battleship. High Commander Xelthor, watching from his orbital flagship, could scarcely believe the reports. His perfect invasion was collapsing. Worse, his communication officer looked up with fear in his eyes. "Commander, we're receiving a direct transmission from the Galactic Council. They're demanding an explanation for our actions on Earth." Before Xelthor could respond, another officer interrupted. "Sir, our reinforcement fleet has just exited hyperspace. They'll reach Earth orbit within 6 hours." Xelthor smiled coldly. "Perfect. Once they arrive, we'll crush these humans completely." The Council can protest all they want, but they never intervene in active conflicts. What XL Thor didn't know was that Lisa had intercepted and decoded his communication with the reinforcement fleet. Earth's resistance now knew exactly when and where the Zadian ships would arrive. In the captured command center, Alan looked at the alien star charts showing the reinforcement fleet's approach vector. "Get this to Dr. Grant immediately," he ordered, "and prepare the captured ships for launch." The human counterattack had succeeded beyond all expectations. Now they prepared for something even more audacious, taking the fight beyond Earth for the first time. The captured Zadian battleship hung in Earth's orbit, its sleek alien design now modified with human additions. Inside the bridge, technicians worked frantically to master the alien controls. Former Navy Admiral George Washington, a stocky man with steel gray hair, studied the ship's tactical display. "Reinforcements will exit hyperspace at these coordinates in 2 hours," he said, pointing to a blinking indicator. "We need to be ready." 7 Earth ships now formed humanity's first space fleet. The largest, renamed Defiance, served as the command vessel. The others took positions in a defensive formation around Earth. Dr. Grant floated through the engine room, her tablet displaying translations of Zadian technical manuals. The faster-than-light drive works on principles similar to our theoretical wormhole physics, she explained to her engineering team. "We've managed to replicate their fuel mixture." The FTL drive was humanity's greatest prize. With it, humans could potentially escape Earth if the coming battle went poorly. More importantly, they could take the fight directly to the Zadian Empire if necessary. On the bridge, Lisa Ramirez monitored communications. "Admiral, I'm picking up transmissions from the approaching fleet. They have no idea we've captured these vessels." Admiral Washington nodded. "That gives us one chance at surprise. We'll use it well." Alan Peterson finished briefing his boarding teams. Each specialized in different aspects of Zadian technology. Some would disable weapons, others would target life support or engines. All carried Dr. Grant's improved shield disruptors and the bacterial weapons that had proven so effective. "This won't be like fighting on Earth," Alan warned his people. "Zero-gravity combat is different. Follow your training and stick to the plan." As the hour approached, the human fleet moved to an ambush position behind Earth's moon. The plan was simple but risky. Allow the first Zadian ships to enter orbit, then strike from behind while they were focused on communicating with Thor's command ship. "First ships exiting hyperspace," reported the sensor officer. Counting 15 vessels, 3 heavy cruisers. Admiral Washington waited until the Zadian reinforcements had fully emerged. "All ships, execute attack pattern Alpha. Weapons free." The human-controlled fleet surged from behind the moon, weapons charging. The Zadians, expecting to meet friendly forces, were completely unprepared. The first salvos hit their engines and communication arrays, disabling 3 ships before they could raise shields. "Boarding teams, launch now," ordered Washington. Alan's teams deployed in small, agile shuttles, targeting the damaged Zadian vessels. Using their knowledge of Zadian ship layouts, they breached hull sections with minimal resistance. On the Zadian command ship, High Commander XL Thor watched in horror as his reinforcements came under attack from what appeared to be his own vessels. "Impossible," he roared. "How did they?" "Sir," interrupted his second-in-command, "the humans are broadcasting on all frequencies." The screen showed Lisa Ramirez, now serving as Earth's official representative. "Attention Zadian forces. Your invasion of Earth violated Galactic Council protocols for first contact. We have documented your war crimes and sent evidence to the Council. Surrender now or face destruction." Thor smashed the communication panel. "All ships, destroy those stolen vessels. They are being operated by human vermin." The space battle intensified. Though outnumbered, the human-controlled ships fought with unexpected tactical brilliance. Admiral Washington employed maneuvers no Zadian would have attempted, using Earth's gravity to slingshot ships into flanking positions. Alan's boarding party successfully captured 2 more Zadian vessels, turning them against their former masters. Dr. Grant's technical team managed to boost the shield strengths on their captured ships by redirecting power from non-essential systems. The tide turned when 3 Zadian cruisers, seeing their commander's ship heavily damaged, surrendered rather than continue fighting. Their captains, already concerned about the Council investigation, chose survival over loyalty to HFY. As the battle concluded, Admiral Washington received an urgent message from Earth. "Sir, we're detecting a new hyperspace signature, much larger than the Zadian fleet." All eyes turned to the sensors as a massive ship emerged. Unlike the aggressive lines of Zadian vessels, this one was elegant, almost artistic in design. "We're receiving a transmission," said Lisa, her eyes wide. "It's from the Galactic Council itself." On the main screen appeared a diverse collection of alien beings. At their center sat a dignified Andromede who addressed them directly. The Galactic Council headquarters floated in neutral space, a massive structure of crystal and metal that housed representatives from over 300 spacefaring civilizations. Its central chamber formed a perfect dome, large enough to fit a small city inside. Tiered seating curved upward along the walls, filled with beings of every imaginable shape and size. Admiral Washington guided Earth's flagship Defiance into the designated docking port. The journey had taken 2 weeks, during which Lisa Ramirez prepared intensively for her role as Earth's first ambassador. Alan Peterson organized security, unsure what reception awaited them. "Remember," Admiral Washington told his crew, "we represent all of humanity now. Stay calm, no matter what happens." Lisa straightened her formal uniform, a simple blue design created specifically for this historic meeting. "I'm ready," she said, though her voice betrayed her nervousness. The Earth delegation consisted of 12 people. Lisa as ambassador, Alan for security, Dr. Grant for scientific expertise, Admiral Washington as military representative, and 8 specialists in various fields. They walked through the airlock into the Council station, escorted by tall, willowy Andromede guides. "The Council has convened specifically to hear Earth's case," explained their guide, Clarice. "Such an emergency session is extremely rare." The chamber fell silent as the humans entered. Many Council members had never seen humans before except in Zadian propaganda. The Earth delegation took their position at the speaking platform, facing the Council's 7 senior arbiters. Opposite them, a delegation of Zadians waited, led by a military official wearing elaborate insignia. High Commander HFY himself sat in restraints, captured during the space battle. Senior Arbiter Thulin, the Andromede who had first contacted Earth's fleet, raised a graceful hand. "This emergency session will address the conflict between the Zadian Empire and the previously uncontacted world called Earth. Ambassador Ramirez, you may present your case." Lisa stepped forward. The universal translator device at her throat allowed all species to understand her words. "Honorable Council, I speak for Earth. 6 months ago, Zadian forces attacked our world without provocation or warning. Millions died in the initial bombardment. Our cities were destroyed. Our people were enslaved." She activated a holographic display showing footage of the invasion, carefully documented by resistance fighters. The images of destruction caused murmurs among the Council members. "We have evidence that this invasion violated Council First Contact protocols," Lisa continued. "The Zadians made no attempt at peaceful communication. They demanded immediate submission and punished refusal with genocide." The Zadian representative rose in objection. "Earth represents a strategic threat to galactic stability. Their warlike nature required preemptive action." Lisa countered by displaying records from Zadian command ships. "These are your own reports, which we captured. They clearly show that Earth was deemed valuable primarily for resource extraction and slave labor." More damning evidence followed. Recordings of HFY ordering attacks on civilian targets, documentation of humans being processed for off-world labor camps, and proof that the invasion was launched without proper council authorization. The chamber grew increasingly tense. Many council species appeared disturbed by the evidence. The Zadian delegation became agitated, whispering urgently among themselves. Lisa finished her presentation by addressing the council directly. "We do not ask for special treatment. We ask only for justice and recognition of our right to exist freely." The council called a brief recess to consider the evidence. During this time, Dr. Grant noticed Xelthor speaking intently with a guard. Her warning came too late. The supposedly restrained commander suddenly broke free, drawing a concealed weapon. "Earth will never join the council," he shouted, aiming directly at Lisa. Ellen reacted instantly, throwing himself between Lisa and the weapon. Security forces moved to intervene, but not before Xelthor fired. The energy blast struck a barrier, an unexpected shield generated by Clarice, who had moved faster than human eyes could follow. Council security subdued Xelthor as the chamber erupted in outrage. Such violence in the council chamber was unprecedented. The Zadian delegation was immediately placed under guard. When order was restored, Senior Arbiter Tholan's voice rang clearly through the chamber. "This attack only confirms the evidence presented. The Council will now vote on Earth's petition." The Earth delegation stood on the observation deck of their flagship Defiance, watching as the massive Zadian withdrawal began. Hundreds of ships departed Earth orbit, their engines glowing blue against the blackness of space. After months of brutal occupation, the invaders were finally leaving. Lisa Ramirez studied the official council documents in her hands. They detailed the terms of Earth's victory: complete Zadian withdrawal, substantial reparations for rebuilding destroyed cities, and technology transfers to help repair environmental damage caused by the conflict. "I still can't believe we pulled this off," she said quietly. Admiral Washington nodded. "Not just survived, we've earned a seat at the Galactic table." The Earth ships, now flying newly designed flags showing Earth among stars, formed an honor guard as the last Zadian vessels left the solar system. Council observers monitored the withdrawal, ensuring compliance with the peace terms. Dr. Grant joined them, her tablet displaying plans for the first human colony ship. "The Council has granted us rights to establish settlements in 3 nearby star systems," she explained. "With the technology we've acquired, we can begin construction within months." Earth itself was changing rapidly. The destruction had been immense, but rebuilding efforts incorporated advanced alien technology, creating cities more efficient and sustainable than before. Medical knowledge gained from the Andromeda had already saved thousands of lives and promised to revolutionize human healthcare. In what remained of Washington, D.C., a new structure rose: the headquarters of the Earth Defense Force, led by Alan Peterson. Inside its command center, officers from former nations trained together, preparing to protect humanity's new place in the galaxy. "The Council is sending representatives from 12 species to establish embassies on Earth," Alan told his senior staff. "Our first priority is ensuring their safety while they're here." Many humans still viewed all aliens with suspicion, but education programs had begun showing the diversity of galactic cultures, many of which had opposed the Zadian invasion from the start. On the other side of the galaxy, Xelthor's prison transport approached the maximum security facility where he would serve his sentence. The former High Commander stared bitterly through the viewport as his military career and reputation ended in disgrace. Back on the Defiance, Lisa received an urgent message from Clarice, their Andromeda ally. "Ambassador Ramirez, the Council wishes to inform you that 3 additional species have requested trade agreements with Earth." The message read, "Your adaptive technology and unique biological compounds are already highly sought after." Lisa smiled. Humanity's quick learning and adaptability, the very qualities the Zadians had feared, were now becoming their greatest diplomatic assets. Admiral Washington called the crew to attention as they prepared for the journey home. "Today marks the beginning of a new chapter for humanity," he announced. "We've faced the worst the galaxy could throw at us, and we not only survived, we emerged stronger." Dr. Grant reviewed data from other Council worlds, already identifying technologies humanity could improve upon. They may be more advanced, she told her team, but we think differently. That's our advantage. Earth's banner now hung proudly in the Galactic Council chamber alongside those of the oldest spacefaring civilizations. The same defiance and determination that had fueled the resistance now drove humanity's expansion to the stars. In schools across Earth, children learned the names of alien species and studied star charts showing new human colonies. The generation born after first contact would grow up seeing the galaxy as their neighborhood, rather than an unknown frontier. Lisa stood at the bridge window as the Defiance prepared to enter faster-than-light travel for the journey home. Behind them, the Council headquarters shimmered like a jewel against the backdrop of stars. Ahead lay Earth and humanity's future. "Set course for home," Admiral Washington ordered. The ship's engines hummed as navigation plotted the return journey. Humanity had discovered its place in the universe, not as conquerors or the conquered, but as fierce defenders of justice who had earned their right to the stars through courage and determination. As the Defiance accelerated into FTL, Lisa thought about everything that had happened since that first terrible day of invasion. The galaxy had expected Earth to submit or perish. Instead, humanity had revealed its true nature: adaptable, resourceful, and unwilling to surrender freedom at any cost. The fierce retaliation that had stunned the Galactic Council had become the foundation for a new era of human history. Earth was no longer alone, and the stars themselves would never be the same.